Let's get on to this next story, though, with Chris has an amazing story here with Zac Efron.
Yeah, it also involves superheroes, apparently. Because another Hollywood A-lister, Zac Efron, he's showing off a superhuman physique. Producer Chris, I want every single detail on this story. Take your time.
Don't you worry. And listen, I'm not going to lie to you. There is jealousy oozing out of me about this next story. We know Zac Efron is in great shape. He has talked about, he was actually just on the cover of Men's Health magazine where he talked about his diet, his workouts, the relationship between his body image, and his mental health. So we first got a glimpse of the actor's total body transformation back in the days of the Baywatch movie. You see him working out right there. He packed on about 15 pounds of muscle to play a lifeguard for that role, and apparently he is back in the gym. Check out these new pictures that were just published in the Daily Mail. That is an almost unrecognizable Efron on the set of the new movie. It's called The Iron Claw. So the 35-year-old plays former professional wrestler Kevin Von Erich. You see the side-by-side right there. He was a star of the wrestling industry back in the 60s, along with his siblings and then later his children. In case you're keeping track, though, take a look at this side-by-side. This is Zac's transformation since his High School Musical days back in the early 2000s. Kevin, you just talked to Zac for that movie, The Greatest Beer Run Ever. And he must have been hitting the gym constantly since then, because I don't even remember him looking like that when you talked to him.
That's the first thing that I thought when I saw these photos. First of all, I think we need to go ahead and let the audience know that that's actually my body with Efron's face on it.
That's exactly right.
Okay. I knew it. That's my body. I knew it. Zac Efron's face is on my body. Yeah. No, but this interview was a month ago, maybe. And obviously he looks. He looks like he's in shape, but I didn't think he was getting that big again. And one of the things that Chris brought up, which is interesting, is the depression that he dealt with after Baywatch. We discussed a lot of that in our interview. If you missed it, you can go to fox5dc.com to find it. But he talked about how the work that was put into Baywatch led him to insomnia and certain elements of depression. And I read a quote, I believe this, I don't remember the source of this, so I apologize, but it was something along the lines of it made him, like it almost didn't look real what he looked like in that movie, almost like a CGI. So I'm assuming whatever problems led him down that path for Baywatch, he's going to try and avoid this time. I would imagine that he's telling the trainer, I want to make sure I'm doing X, Y, and Z so that I don't have a falling down. Because, there are very unhealthy ways you can get that big, clearly. And really,
or that small, for that matter.
Correct. And a lot of these actors, like Christian Bale, when they gain and lose all that weight, there's a lot of health risks.
Can wreak havoc on your organs.
Huge.
Even
it shocks their system.
Not even the whole part about working out. Taking on a role we know for a fact now can have an impact on your life as well.
You have the mental, you have the physical.
Yes.
But Efron, if you didn't hear this answer he gave about depression, find it on Fox 5 DC. He's really open. He even said in the interview, I've never talked about it before because I didn't think it mattered. And his movie, The Greatest Beer Run, I actually really dug. So listen, these photos obviously show that he's in shape. My assumption is that he's doing it the right way this time.
Good for him.
Yeah, so that's my guess.
And to your point, too, it starts with the mind.
Right.
And you got to that in the interview. It was a great interview. I agree. Go watch it if you haven't seen it.
Thank you. And you also have to fail or have a lesson like that to learn. Like if he hadn't gone through the Baywatch experience and knew what his body could and could not take, he wouldn't probably be able to do this role in the right way.
You have to fail forward.
And it's called self-awareness.
You got it.
That's what it is.
It starts
Love you guys.
Thank you for that.
Y'all, thank you for the compliment on the interview. I appreciate that. Thank
you always do great stuff.
This guy's a legend, man. I've been watching you
You're a legend.
No, man, I love your stuff, bro.
It's the shoes.
Everybody's legendary.